Hi, grade 10s. Here's your question, and you have to solve for x. So the first thing I would do, grade 10s, is I would write every term as a fraction. So at the moment, this is not a fraction. This is a fraction. This is not a fraction. So I would write x as x over 1. Now it's a fraction. Then I would have this is a fraction, so it stays the same. And 2 I will write as 2 over 1. Now, before we even start with the equation, you must first write your restrictions down. So, do you see that this denominator has an x in it? So, to write the restriction, you write your denominator down and you make it equal to 0. And then you kind of solve for x. You bring the 1 over, and then you say x cannot be 1. So, that is the restriction. Next, we have to find our LCD. So, here is a 1. There is an x minus 1 and there is a 1. My LCD is there's a 1 somewhere and there is an x minus 1 somewhere. That is my LCD. Now, every denominator in the question must look like this. Can you see this one only has a 1? So this one I must multiply by x minus 1 so that it looks like that. But what I do at the bottom, I must do on top. This x minus 1 must still have a 1. So on top, I must multiply by 1. This denominator, I must multiply by x minus 1. But what I do at the bottom, I do on top. Now, grade 10s, with equations, can you see that the denominators are the same? Once they are the same, you can drop them. You are only going to show me this part, and that part. So I'm going to rewrite this thing now. So I'm going to have x minus 1 is equal to 2 times 1 plus 2 times x minus 1. The denominators just, they fall away. So now I'm going to remove the brackets. This is x squared. This is minus x. That is 2. And this is 2x. And this is a minus 2. I'm now going to bring everything to the left-hand side. So this is on the left. So I bring this 2 over, minus 2. I bring that over, minus 2x. I bring that over, plus 2. So if I add the like terms, I get x squared minus 3x. And this will cancel. Now, this is a quadratic equation, which means I must take out x, which is the highest common factor. So I'm factorizing x minus 3. And if I write my solution, it's either this is 0 or this is 0. So either this is 0 or this bracket is 0. And this I can take further. As you can see, grade 10s, my restriction is just that x cannot be 1. And 1 wasn't one of my answers. So this can be an answer and that can be an answer. And that's how you do an equation with a fraction. So in this example, before we can even start, we're not writing our restriction down because, as you can see, look at your denominators only. So this denominator over here, you can't factorize. So this one is okay. This one is okay, but I would swap x and 3 around. This one is not factorized, so I can factorize that further. So step number 1 is going to be, I am going to swap this one around and I'm going to factorize this. And you only do it with the denominators, not the numerator. Eh? Let's do that quickly. 2x minus 3 stays that. X plus 4 will stay that. Now I'm going to swap them around, so I'm going to have x minus 3. But when you swap around, you put the negative in front. Now with fractions, grade 10s, I would put the negative, instead of putting it in the denominator, I'll put it on top. So that's just a little trick there for you. And then I'm going to factorize this. So this is a trinomial. X and x. What times what is 12? 4 times 3. It must give me 1. And then a plus and a minus is a plus and a minus. Remember, the biggest number goes first. So 4 is first, then 3. Okay? So now it's factorized. So I'm going to write my restrictions down first. So let me write that in red. do you see that this and this one, they are the same? So they will have one restriction. The restriction is x plus 4 is equal to 0. So x is equal to negative 4. The restriction is x cannot be negative 4. Then do you notice that this and this is the same? So for that, I'm also going to have only one restriction. So x minus 3 is equal to 0. So x is equal to 3. X cannot be 3. That's my restriction. I have to find my LCD. My LCD is going to be what's in my denominator. So there is an x plus 4 and there is also an x minus 3. That is my LCD. So by the first fraction, do you see this x plus 4? To make x plus 4 look like this, I must multiply it by x minus 3. But what I do at the bottom, I must do on top. For the next fraction, there's an x minus 3. So this one I have to multiply by, I'm going to put it here, x plus 4. But what I do at the bottom, I must do on top. This fraction over here looks exactly like this. There's nothing I'm going to do to 7. And so now, do you notice, grade 10s, that this denominator looks like this one and also looks like this one. So in the next step, it can actually fall away. I'm only writing the numerators. So 2x minus 3 in brackets times x minus 3 is equal to negative 1 and an x plus 4 and then a plus 7. Now I'm going to solve this, eh? So I multiply out. This times this is 2x squared. This times this is negative 6x. This is negative 3x. This times this is a positive 9. This times this, negative x. This times this, negative 4 plus 7. Everything to the left-hand side. So 2x squared minus 6x minus 3x plus 9. This comes over plus. This comes over plus. This comes over minus. So now everything equal to 0. I have a 2x squared. So let's look at the like terms. It's this, and it's this. There I get a negative 8x. And then let's look. 9, 4, and 7. That will give me plus 6. Okay? So now before I solve for x, I have to factorize. But before I factorize, I can take out a common factor. I'm going to take out 2. So this is x squared minus 4x plus 3. And then I'm going to factorize first. So this is x and x. 3 times 1 is 3. And a minus and a plus is a minus and a minus. Okay, so my final answer is I ignore this number because there is no x. This is x minus 3 is equal to 0. This is x minus 1 is equal to 0. X is equal to, take the 3 over, a positive 3. Take the 1, negative 1 over, a positive 1. So that's my answer. But then remember, I had a restriction. X cannot be 3. So let's go down here. You see you have a 3 here. So x cannot be 3. So the only answer is this.